has started.
Okay. Let me see on YouTube if I'm actually live, because should be visible somewhere, right? Yep, we're live.
Yay!
Great success. um. All right. I think things are set up. We spent more talking than actually setting up things, so it doesn't look great yet. well,
Sidetracked.
yeah, kind of. But yeah, welcome to the new podcast. Honestly, well, we went down the trend of just winging it. I got a couple of clips. I got some news I want to talk about, and the same is with Jack. Although it's more of a surprise to me. Anyway, welcome, Jack. If you want to say something.
Hey, I'm glad to be back. Finally.
Finally, episode 2.
2026, baby.
Yeah. Let's get 2026 rolling. I'm still
Ah,
trying to figure out where the chat is. So,
chat's usually in the garbage,
uh,
honestly. I mean,
let's see. Can you type something in the chat, maybe?
sure.
Great. I don't see it yet. No, that's not what I wanted. I thought I could fix it. I ain't fixing shit.
I ain't fixing shit.
Okay, before I get too much sidetracked, I'll just select my own stream. And then I should see the chat, right?
Yeah, it should just pop up in a side window. Should.
A blank page. What the fuck? What am I even looking at? No, I do see the stream, I just don't see the chat. So, oh wait, top chat. So that's the chat. You said Grus full. Great.
Yeah, yep. I just smashed my head on the keyboard.
Great. Let's get into it. If you didn't know me, then you might not know what's coming up, but most of you should know me, and I have to talk about like the most recent update that kind of came out last Friday of
Foxhole is a massively
Foxhole.
multiplayer game where thousands of players shape the
Is it?
outcome of a
Let me see.
persistent.
Yeah, it's Foxhole Airborne. We've been waiting for that for a long time.
I think I've been begging for that for a while, personally.
Yeah, they added a ton of stuff. Right now, there's also like the dev branch that is open, so the testing service. So it's not fully live yet, but a lot of it is already like set in stone, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what I wanted to talk about here, but it's just like again, it's like one of these things that has been on the waiting list for Foxhole for since forever. It looks amazing, actually. I cannot believe, because like part of the excitement about Airborne was always like, how are the devs gonna pull this off? Because this game was not made for this, and somehow they kind of did a very good job. You can see here like just the announcement trailer. There's a whole dev stream explaining a whole lot of stuff, and you can also see a little bit more what the everything is capable of. But yeah, it looks good. Hopefully it's also plays well. Hopefully it doesn't get too many issues, bugs, and whatnot. There are already a couple of balance issues. Not necessarily faction to faction balance, because I know people in the Foxhole community love to, talk about the faction to faction balance. But mostly about like the accessibility of the airplanes and the and the defenses. Yeah, also a carrier. Both factions have a carrier. This is like the more dedicated carrier, and this is kind of the weird ass. Yeah.
Line layers. Okay.
But yeah, they have some other updates. They have a lot of new boats, which honestly I'm just as excited about, because especially like the boats are a lot cheaper, and I don't like it when you're playing too much with the expensive stuff and you're afraid to lose it.
Yeah, so they add a lot smaller PT boats.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. So before this, there was the naval update, which added the huge ships, and the huge ships were super fun, and they actually got used quite a lot, and it took quite a long time before people got the hang of it and knew what the fuck to do with it. And there was really a lack in the early game for the large ships, and that's why they added like a whole ton of large ships or small ships now as well.
Yeah, so at least people who I know a lot of people do have groups and build their own shit themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing a lot of small, cheaper ships that you could just kind of throw and have fun with them, rather than having like the massive dreadnought and be worrying that, oh no, we're gonna lose this.
And honestly, like Airborne, they did a bunch of things. They broke a lot of their own habits. I don't want to say rules, because like first of all, one of the first planes they announced. Let me see if I can find it somewhere in the video. One of the first planes they announced was a scout plane. And the thing about the scout plane, I'm really trying to find it here, is cheap. It's kind of it's not very. Oh, here it is. Here's one of them. Here's the colonial version of the scout plane, on the left side here.
Oh yeah, so yeah, the scout planes are based off like the Kingfisher and all that from World War II. All right, I see.
Yeah, they have a whole way that so they added the scout plane. That one is very manageable for a solo player to grind up some materials and actually acquire and actually fly, because it's a challenge to make airplanes feel impactful while at the same time make them affordable for smaller groups of players. So this is like specifically that. It's like if you have if you're really busy and you just have a couple of hours to play, you probably can still afford something like this.
Yeah.
And that's in my opinion that really deserves some praise. One of the other things is actually they specifically mentioned this in the dev stream, is they wanted to not add another system. They wanted to make sure the system or the airplanes kind of work with all the other things. So you had the aircraft carrier, You have a lot of planes that kind of are able to land on the water. Some of the paratroopers are able to land on the water, and there's some runways. There's some integrated stuff with the facilities. A lot of these things just kind of fit in quite neatly, and I think all the thought that went into it was a little bit underappreciated for now, but you know.
Yeah, I can imagine from their side how they want to integrate with everything that's already in the game. The tanks, you were saying all the maritime shit as well.
Yeah, let me see if I can find the Warden scout plane. So, very Foxhole tradition. They are very asymmetric, which makes it a lot harder to balance. But then again, you know, it also makes it in my opinion, a lot more fun because you know they're not really trying to be the perfect competitive game here. They're trying to, you know, make this is the Warden scout plane. It's looks super weird.
It's I know what plane it's based off of. It's based on
Really?
an old French plane. I believe it was French at least.
Yeah. But anyway, they made like these scout planes, which honestly I have to praise because they were like made just, you know, for the smaller players. They're not like super weak, but like they're also not anything special in the air. They're like the weakest thing you can see flying around.
I mean, traditionally a scout plane usually only had maybe a machine gun or two, and could hold maybe a single small bomb.
So these scout planes, you can actually see them quite nicely from picture to picture here, because this one is the Colonial one and this one is the Warden one. The Warden one has like small size torpedoes, and the Colonial one can deploy mines in addition to both having like a machine gun. With not a lot of ammunition.
Does that one have a tail gun, or is that just another dude in the back?
There's a dude here in the back. Both are dual crew. They have these whatever they're called, like these platoons or what? Float pylons. You know, so they can land on the water, but they can also land on land.
Yeah. A lot of aircraft had these. I can't remember. I think Japan did a version of a float plane where they had the floats, but then inside the floats were like 4 little wheels that came out. They were so adorable, but they broke so easily. Not to mention those floats usually carry the fuel as well, the extended fuel tanks.
Yeah, like these. There's also like some wheels I can see on the floats. I do really like this plane. This really, you know, it really feels like
looks like one of those, like, you know, those bathtubs you'd see in Western movies. They just slap some wings on it and call it a day.
No, but it really feels like that. Like it's it looks like they took a small boat and started adding components, and then they ended up with this, you know, put like an engine on the back. Yeah.
Well, we got the wings on. Where do we put the engine? I know, behind us.
Yeah, I really so this came in addition to a map expansion. So we had already a pretty big map. It gets expanded by another 10 hexes. So another 10 regions, mostly island regions. But that's also like, again, I cannot praise it enough. The dev team really thought about how to integrate this, because a lot of these have like semi-sea components. Like these have like the small torpedoes. The other one can carry some mines. They are these large bombers. Of course, you know, they're gonna throw some bombs. But like these are like some really expensive planes. The actually flying model. Yeah, the actually flying mod. It's not, and this is also what they said. They don't want to make like another, War Thunder style flying or whatever, kind of super realistic flying style. But they also wanted to make it a little bit more in depth than, some kind of arcade game or whatever.
It's top-down arcade game. The old what was it? The old Top Gun games, I think it were.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really excited about that one. If you can see here, it's available from February 9th. Right now we can already mess around with the new stuff on the dev branch, but if you're someone that has been holding out on Foxhole, this is February 9th is one of the moments. That's a good moment to start. There'll be a lot of people playing.
Oh yeah, totally. Servers are gonna be full.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that was kind of like my first segment. I was really waiting for this this has been like teased for what, 2 years now. It has been in the making for like 5 years or something, on and off. But yeah, this is also like one of the last major components that we expected, at least for Foxhole, and now we're literally like, okay, what else can they add?
I know, Vietnamese style tunnels.
Ooh, don't get me started.
Don't get me started.
So many good ideas. But anyway, yeah. I'll be definitely playing, although I cannot play as much as I used to. But I'll be playing the same regiment on the Warden side, and yeah, I'll definitely make a different video about a little bit more in depth about the patch and what I think about it and what kind of issues I see. But that's more like a technical review than gameplay review, because the gameplay is absolutely amazing. Like flying is so exciting because you know what you're flying in is quite expensive. You can crash it, and it's just like yeah, good.
You text the group, yo, can y'all come grab me? I'm in middle of nowhere, enemies are everywhere territory.
Honestly, they did really mention that quite a bit. They were talking about how it should be very profitable to salvage your plane.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that it's a lot cheaper to repair it, obviously, than to rebuild it, but a lot cheaper. So preferably, even if you have to crash land somewhere, make sure you get somewhat into safe area, because then at least you can recoup a lot of your material, if not repair the whole plane.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's really good integration for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, they made a couple of interesting design decisions. For example, this is also against Foxhole tradition, but they made the suit, the pilot suit. They made it really, really expensive, and essentially in Foxhole, usually if you die, it really doesn't matter. It's just a couple of hammer clicks away from getting yourself new, so to say. So it really, dying is not really a big issue in Foxhole. However, in a plane, as a pilot, it's a big deal. So yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's gonna be fun. I'll keep that in mind. Don't die as a pilot.
Yeah. I have to do a little bit of a camera nudge. Because this is your segment, and I want your camera to work for the segment.
Ah, right. Yo, I fully froze.
Foxhole
Right, planes. Right. Distracting.
Planes, planes.
um. Oh, we're somewhat back.
I think someone decides to turn itself off again.
I think we're good. So I'm just gonna launch it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it to view the controls and everything, but it should work like this. So
Shit, it'll be fine. I mean,
turn up the
video's long
volume,
enough for me
or
you can if you want it on your side if you need it. Basically, this is just gameplay of the what was it? Title update 4 for Monster Hunter Wilds. They added this old fan favorite monster, Gox Mazios.
Gox Mazios.
So he's a massive siege monster, and they actually, in this mode, usually traditionally in Monster Hunter it's 4 hunters versus a single monster. They doubled it. There are now 8 hunters for this single hunt, which is a first in the series.
First in the series.
And, yep. We never had more than 4 hunters in one hunt before, up until this point. So this is basically, this hunt takes around 30 minutes to complete. I obviously edited it down because we're not sitting here for 30 minutes of me wailing on something the size of Godzilla. So he's a really unique fight. In this first fight, what you're seeing is you have to use a fire elemental weapon because he's covered in this really thick oil.
Yeah.
And the only way to soften it up is with a fire weapon. So, I can't remember what weapon I took for this. But
what was the fire weapon?
Yeah, it was a fire weapon, but there was a really funny weapon. I went, oh, that would have been funny, but I don't think I used it based on what I'm seeing. There's a special limited weapon where it's literally just 2 well-done steaks that you just start beating the shit out of people with. It's funny as hell. This is a very intricate fight as well. You'll see whenever I take a hit, it takes a chunk of your health off. And I
see like slowed down movements because you get like soaked in oil and everything, I think.
Yeah, so yeah, he spits out oil. Well, oil kind of drips off of him all the time. It'll reduce your movement speed. It's kind of more or less a minor annoyance than big inconvenience, thank God. And also the weapon I'm using is very, very mobile. So basically how it works is there's 4 hunters on the ground, and then there are 4 hunters that are up on the platform.
Okay.
So
I can see that.
Yeah, the 4 hunters on the top usually provide support, while the 4 hunters on the ground are actually putting damage into it. We're at the point now where we go to phase 2. There are 3 phases for this.
Okay.
Phase 2, he turns the entire floor into lava. I wish I was joking. And this next phase, you have to attack him, and you might have noticed this massive spike on his back at one point. That is apparently tidbit of lore. There's some ancient civilization that used to have really powerful weapons, and apparently one of those managed to get launched into his back at one point via the oil. So you gotta stun him and break his back, and apparently I just decided to fall off for no reason. Yeah, this area is a bit more convoluted because it's you and him and not much space to move.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, am I stuck with you or are you stuck with me kind of vibe, but you're definitely stuck with him.
Yeah, considering you only get a few like things to help you. You get a massive like wall slam, a few, I can't remember what they're called, like explosive balls. Screw it. Apparently we knocked off the gun, and you have to use these
this was stuck in his back?
Yeah, that was the thing that was stuck in his back.
Oh,
the Elder
that was like a sword or something.
It's a big like energy cannon. So basically, in the lore, there's these weird power vines. I can't remember what they're called, worm ways or something. and you have to connect. You can connect as little as one. It just takes forever to charge. Then connect all three, you can charge up the gun really quickly. Um, I love risking death. I swear. I just look at the lava. I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll evade out of that.
All right.
So at this point, usually how you would do it in a full fight with a full player lineup is you got a lot of people trying to distract him and stun him, as you get a couple people trying to connect these vines as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then after you connect all three of them, it's just kind of wail on him until the cannon's charged. Well, I
It
say
does
wail
give
on
me
him,
some
survive.
Avatar vibes.
Yeah, they definitely. There are definitely some things that go, man, they took something straight out of Avatar a couple times in this game. Can't wait to see what the DLC brings.
Alright.
This is not even a paid DLC fight. This is a free title update. They've done 4 of them, and this was the final one for the base game. And here we go with the weapon.
Wow. Okay.
This fight is so much fun. So after that, you wait on him for a little bit more before he kind of gets a little pissy and starts flying off.
Okay, this whole thing moved, didn't it?
Yeah. He breaks a bit of the arena to allow you to access the next bit.
I see.
It's
I see,
how
I see.
Capcom does traditionally.
Yeah, I mean, like Monster Hunter is the whole game is about boss fights, and it's doing that very well. Otherwise, it wouldn't have a series, right?
Yeah. There's an interesting dynamic between what they call siege fights, which this is categorized as.
Is Siege fight? Okay.
Yeah, siege. So siege fights are usually these massive specialty monsters, usually elder dragons that get their own like arena. For example, all the areas you've seen are not traditionally on the map. This is his own special arena that you fight him in.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, this is the part I hate the most because you have to look up at him in order to fire these little laser guns to bring him down. But you can't see where your feet are, and a lot of times there's like an explosive mass below you.
Okay.
So in this part, you need to use a dragon elemental weapon to keep his powers in check. Fail to do so results in, this.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he does what we call a nuke in the game, where you just can't survive. Now, if you do manage to keep his power in check, and you have a shield, you can just tank it.
Yeah, holy shit. Can also only one person have that shield, and the rest just like hides behind it?
You can if a person does not have a shield, they can hide behind a person with a shield.
Yeah, yeah. Citrine and look for lava. Oh shit, he's lost a little bit of his tail.
Yeah, at one point we chopped it off. I don't remember when. You might find like a random piece of tail somewhere on the side of the arena. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was more wondering, like, how does this fit into the rest of the game? Is this like, I mean, is this like a DLC, right?
Technically, it's a DLC in a way. It was just the final title update.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not adding anything new to the base game. However, if we're going along the recent trends, what they've been doing is they usually add a DLC that just doubles the game's size in terms of the amount of monsters, playable areas, and what's the word I'm looking for? And other specialty stuff, which also comes with their own title updates as well.
Okay.
They haven't announced anything yet, but this is the final monster we get for the base game of Wilds, and it's a hard fight, but it's also a really fun fight. I actually do enjoy fighting this guy, despite me dying like 3 times usually in a fight.
So, this is all part of the base game?
Yes.
That's
You buy the basic standard edition, you can still fight this guy.
Yeah, that's
And
really nice. Like I was also like, it's the same thing with Foxhole. It's very impressive how they operate, the way they operate on just a buy to play basis. You know, I only paid like the initial little amount of money for Foxhole, and I've way too many hours in it. It's like because like, they kind of refuse to hand a different model, but like the only way they're able to do that is also to keep their team small. And I'm
yeah,
not sure how big the team of Monster Hunter is, but I feel like um, it's definitely bigger, but you know, not that much bigger.
I don't know how big Monster Hunter's department is at Capcom. I know it's more than 60 people.
Oh, that's
Another
still a
fun
bunch.
fact is
Yeah.
it's a lot of people because a lot of the movements you see, all the hunters do, and even the monsters are mocapped.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they actually had a behind the scenes that you could probably find on YouTube. Just look up like Monster Hunter Wilds behind the scenes
Mm-hmm.
mocap, and they'll show you on actually how it is live, how they can actually do a live render of a dude wearing a mocap suit and put that into the game immediately with physics and
Let's see.
everything. It's incredible what they're able to do with this game now. A lot of these animations a long time ago were like handcrafted and all that, so there was some
Yeah.
jankiness, but now they are so smooth and so well done.
Yeah, I mean,
And
it
there's
makes sense for a studio like Capcom to have like one bigger mocap section and like do mocap for a bunch of different games, because I cannot imagine that you need like to do mocap for 2 years for a game like this. I mean, you probably just want to like fill in the gaps, which makes it all that much more efficient for like a studio,
yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely. It makes it more efficient, makes just processing smoother, and honestly, just that level of quality and polish.
Yeah.
And with that, I believe that hunt took me something like 25 minutes or something. I think
What
it
the
shows
fuck?
at the end. Yep, 24,
We all
44.
know by now that Pokemon Legends ZA.
All
Damn, sorry.
right. No worries.
That was
Um.
loud. But yeah, that right there was the final update, the final monster, and I enjoyed every bit of this fight.
I can imagine. Like it's every time I see something like this, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't want to play like that. And then I'm like realizing all the grind that went into it, and I'm like,
The
maybe I
grind
don't want
is
to like.
um, the grind is nothing compared to what it used to be. Because I have played Monster Hunter for well over a decade now. The old like Japanese styled, not
Grind.
really
Yeah,
catered to the Western audience. There was such a grind that you had to be in a mindset for it. Now grinding is hunt a monster 4 or 5 times, you'll probably get it. If
yeah,
you're lucky, it might only take you twice.
yeah. Like the old Asian multiplayer games, they just oof, they were not forgiving.
Oh, don't get me started. I played a few of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, ever since World, it's been more catered to a Western audience where, yeah, you don't need to spend 100 hours grinding for one thing. Instead, you could spend 100 hours grinding for 50, 60 different things
Mm-hmm.
if you want. And they even added things where, in a couple games ago at least, where you can hunt two monsters or more at once. So, hey, I need materials from two monsters. I could grab both these monsters within one hunt.
Nice.
So they
So
made quality of life just so much easier now.
this is kind of the final chapter of this the Monster Hunter Worlds, and then there's like a possible DLC, but like this is kind of the final boss.
Yeah,
Can I see it like
yeah.
that?
Final boss for the base game. We'll see whatever they spit out with the expansion DLC.
Alright.
With World, they called it Iceborne, which you went to this Winter Wonder Hell that had like 2 main bosses, and then added like a plethora of other monsters via their title updates as well. It's weird on how they do their updates. So you have the base game, usually 4 title updates, which will add various amounts of monsters per update. Then you have a DLC expansion, which basically doubles the Monster Hunter roster. And within the year of that DLC coming out, they also do 4 title updates for that, which adds even more monsters. Because I don't remember, I think World ended with like 60 something monsters in it, which was insane. 60 or 70, I can't remember.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. So you had like 60 to 70 things that you could hunt at any time. So for player retention, it's definitely helped, especially in their money department as well. Like, my god, that was their best selling game.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. Like, I remember with Elder Scrolls, it also like had like a one-time payment and then kept adding like DLCs. But at the same time, they also made sure that the previous DLCs were like included in the new purchase of DLC. So pretty much at any point you could like buy in, kind of.
Yeah.
And it just made it so that at some point the world of Elder Scrolls Online was like so big that you just could go on forever, kind of like questing and gathering stuff and like region specific items and all that kind of good stuff. We can enjoy your death again.
Don't have to rub it in. I remember specifically being pissed because I got hit, got slammed up to my ass with no health, and he started immediately just napalming the area. I'm like, oh well, I'm screwed.
Yeah. So what's next
Sometimes you
for
get those moments.
Monster Hunter? So there's this like expected to be a DLC, but this dropped like recently, right?
This dropped about 2 months ago, I think. Probably less, actually. About a month ago, I think. Came out right before Christmas.
It's a cool Christmas present.
Yeah, Capcom's Christmas present. Go on, get your asses kicked. Seeing so many people rage at this guy on social media was fun.
That kind of leads me good into my next segment.
We all know by now.
Because I didn't have such a nice Christmas present. Well, I did have a nice Christmas present, but then it got like kind of rudely interrupted. Because I was like, I was in Korea at the time, and the Switch 2 was at a pretty decent discount. So I bought one with Pokemon. I always wanted to get into another Pokemon. However, on the way back home, literally not even like 2 hours since we got to the Netherlands, on the train ride back from the airport to my small city, which is a pretty long train ride, like my wife's purse or bag was grabbed, which had the Switch 2 in it, like only the console. So I have this thing, I have like some other random ass Switch things, but not. Yeah, that was like really sour Christmas present. But anyway, I did play quite a bit of the new Pokemon, the Pokemon A to Z.
Pokemon Legends ZA's
To down a little bit of the volume because it's like also sort of an explainer video. And it was really interesting because for the first time, I think Pokemon like ditched the turn-based combat. And they went into sort of a, a little bit different. I don't know. It's like a real-time combat, and you like have to select your moves, and it will attack at like whenever it's ready, kind of style.
Yeah, it's like a kind of an RTS. I can't remember what there's a very specific like subgenre that I cannot remember.
I know what you mean. This style of combat has a specific name. I just don't know exactly what it is. But anyway, like I really enjoyed it. Like it's really such a change from the traditional Pokemon games because outside of the combat style, which I mean is probably the most important change, but like it's also everything is in one city, and
Oh.
I find myself like being annoyed when I play a game and there's supposed to be a massive city, and if you like start counting the buildings, you're like, oh wow, there's like 11 buildings here, and you're like,
Yeah.
this there's of course the big buildings and the shop and whatnot, but in this case it's actually a massive city. Well, maybe not massive, but like quite big city, and there's a pretty good storyline as well, and it's just cool to see to play Pokemon just within this singular city. And I really wish or really hope they're going to use this kind of concept to have a little bit of in the city, a little bit out of the city, because like the city itself is really well designed. um I don't want to like spoil too much of the main story. I cannot spoil too much because I haven't played until the ending yet. But anyway, the main idea is that that you come to a city, you become a Pokemon trainer, and you're trying to rank up from Z to A. Essentially, that's where the name comes from. Like you start at rank Z, and like you have to catch Pokemon and train them, level them, and um, like every night there's like it goes into combat mode. There's like a day and night cycle in the game, and you know you have to earn enough points, and then you get into like a challenger match, and if you win the challenger match you rank up, kind of.
Oh.
So
Okay.
yeah, I don't know if there's a way to rank down. I think the ranking up is kind of part of the story, but like yeah, I thought this was really cool. But yeah, I did want to like mention this little part of yeah my adventure. I really like. It was so refreshing to see Pokemon this way. I do miss some parts of the old Pokemon, but I think overall Pokemon really needed a change, and I think this is just very good for it. It also opens up to so much more tactics. I always remembered, like for example, the speed stat. I always found it like not really useful.
It was not.
Yeah, because like it just determined who had the first hit, right, or who was striking first. And here you
Yeah.
can actually develop a speed build because all your moves, they're based on cooldowns, right? And the faster
Yeah.
your cooldowns are, speed is really like quite an important stat. You know, it's comparable to the other stats. You can really make a Pokemon into like a a close combat brawler, or long distance kind of special attack.
Yeah.
So yeah. uh,
So I haven't seen much footage of Z to A.
yeah, it's weird, right? I think it's a great start. I wouldn't say this is like the end all be all, but
No,
you
with the Pokemon Company and Nintendo, they always learn from their new innovations. It's like, all right,
exactly, yeah.
it works, but what can we do to refine it? And that's usually within the next game, usually within the next two games, or hell, I've even seen them like refine something within the next game to make it like borderline perfect.
Yeah, and I think that this is a very solid basis for that. It's really unique in the way you literally walk around during a battle. You're aiming. You're kind of trying. It's a little weird, but like you have some influence on where your Pokemon is going, and you can actually dodge some attacks that way. Um, and yeah, like it's also like your positioning also matters from like the further away you are. If you want to do like a tackle or something, it like needs to run all the way up to the enemy Pokemon, and it also costs time. Right?
Yeah.
Here you see the ranking up, by the way.
Yeah.
Another thing that I'm an old school Pokemon player, right? So Emerald,
old school as well.
yeah, Emerald was like kind of the last game I played. So, so all this Mega Evolution stuff was quite new to me, and I think, I don't know any other game where there's also Mega Evolutions, but I think Z2A was a really good game to introduce me to the Mega Evolutions and what it kind of means and everything.
I don't remember when they introduced Mega Evolutions. It definitely wasn't in black and white because that was the last Pokemon game I played.
Yeah.
Unless it was in there and I just don't remember. I don't think it was though.
Like, I'll just go a little bit back. There is also like Mega Evolutions like a main theme of the game, so that's why you see these random battles with like a sort of a boss fight. It's like, and it also feels like a boss fight because they don't really behave like normal player battles. Sometimes they have like extreme special moves, and they spawn like things that you actually have to dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the whirlpools I saw, I'm like, oh yes, I've seen this survival minigame from many bosses before.
Yeah, but and that's also something that I don't think this part is super new to it, but like you can have your Pokemon out, or you can like have it in its Pokeball, and if you run around, like some Pokemon, or I should say most Pokemon will like start attacking you if you get too close,
Yeah.
And they will just attack you even if you don't have a Pokemon out. And you're like, if they attack you too much, then you just get like, knocked out, and you get sent back to spawn.
you get sent back to Nurse Joy, and
Yeah,
next
exactly.
thing you know, fucking Joy Sylvia comes around and says, "Wake the fuck up, samurai."
Let me see if I can pause it on one of the frames here, because that was like where they showed the city. This is the city, and yeah, it's quite large. The green zones are the wild zones where you can find wild Pokemon, and at night they spawn like a sort of random area of the city. They will just surround it, and it will become like I forgot what it's called, the competitive zone or something like that. And then you have to earn a certain amount of points battling. It's like a free for all of Pokemon battles. You just run around, and everyone you see just attacks you, or you attack them.
Okay, that's actually a pretty decently sized city, from what I can see.
Yeah. Do you see the mouse? Is the mouse visible
Yeah.
on stream as well?
I don't know about stream.
Anyway, the little circle he's standing in right now. Maybe we can like play a little bit. Then you can like see. Yeah, these are like a couple of the parks, a couple of the lanes.
Okay, yeah, that's.
And one of the last things, what's kind of surprising, is the city. There's a lot of parkour, a lot of climbing.
Oh,
weirdly.
really?
Yeah, you can like climb on top of these buildings, and they have certain mechanics to make it to other buildings with certain moves or whatever, right? There are a couple of these interesting mechanics that the more you progress, at some point you learn new ways to use moves or something like that. and then you can like suddenly pass certain gaps in buildings or climb certain ledges or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So, oh, this is probably part of your section. What
Yeah.
an introduction. Let's see. So yeah, I was very positively surprised by this edition of Pokemon.
I could say Pokemon doing this really, really well, rather than the time old tradition of turn based.
Yeah, and the time old tradition of turn based and the weird smallest towns, because Pokemon was also like one of these games itself that had like these small cities. Pallet Town in the game itself was like 2 houses and a lab.
Two houses, a lab, and if you kind of slightly went out of the city, there was like this weird shit shack.
Yeah, something like that. So and a lot of cities in Pokemon were like that. They were like a handful of houses.
What was it?
Sometimes
Emerald City was like 20 buildings, I think it was at best.
perhaps there was the big city, I think.
Yeah, I think it was called Emerald City.
Uh, could be. I'm out of loop for that one.
It's the one with the casino in it, if I recall.
I see. Yeah. That was like yeah, I remember that with the tall building, right? With the building with
Yeah.
the 6 floors, and when you were
Yep.
young, you were like, "Holy shit, 6 floors! There's so much to do here," you know.
Yeah, 3 of those floors you had to spend your money on and say goodbye to it permanently.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of detail in Legends A to Z. There's some also things I would like to see them improve on, like having a little bit more control over your Pokemon's positioning or something like that. Maybe I'm missing something again. I don't know. I was not like super deep into the game. I got to like rank C, I think. So I was close to like the rank you needed to get to like the final rank of the game.
Oh, you were close.
And there's also like an expansion of this. I remember. But anyway, I'm like, yeah, I wanted to mention this. I was really hyped to also include a lot of Switch 2 games on this kind of podcast and on my video making. But until I get money from like the insurance, the travel insurance, because technically it was part of my trip, I'm probably not gonna buy another Switch. That was like really a little, painful start of the new year.
Yeah, I would. I got so dumb still. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, it does. It feels bad, man. Let's move on. I mean, when you're ready.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, right. I completely forgot. This fever dream of a game that I found called Earth Defense Force 5. This is those Bulletstorm games where it's just the you versus unbearable odds and just bullets are flying everywhere.
For some
Yeah,
reason, this feels like I've heard about it before.
A lot of people have made videos about it.
That's
This
possible,
is
yeah.
basically just clusterfuck the game. It just keeps sending the weird crap at you. There are giant spiders, ants, other spiders, these weird rolly bug things, aliens, frogs, flying things, flying frogs, like, and it just keeps sending you stuff. It's um a lot of times missions seem very simple, and then what you're about to see is, hey, the enemies are about to get reinforcements. What about us? Oh, no, you don't. Good luck. So there are 4 ways to play. There are Ranger, which is your basic army man. He gets a couple weapons and a special ability. Wing Diver, she has a jetpack. She's able to temporarily fly everywhere. This person, what you're seeing, is called Air Raider, so he's able to call in
The
satellite
lasers?
support, airstrikes. Yeah, he's a very support-based character.
I can see.
Um,
Oh boy, he's charging
yeah,
his weapon.
yeah. There are times you go, oh no. This game is just I don't know how to explain. Honestly, there's no easy way to explain EDF other than you just need to play it. It's
It's just
so
utter
hard to describe.
chaos.
It's utter chaos, but it's the most fun chaos I think I've had in a long time. As
Oh, that's
all my
good.
allies just go flying everywhere. I have quite a few hours in this game. I completed the game entirely, and I enjoyed most of it. There are a couple of missions that you go, "Why does this exist?" Some missions are just straight up painful. These are some of the
Jesus.
hardest enemies of the game. So these are like the super heavy aliens. So they get like
Hmm.
repeater cannons, these rocket launchers. So it takes like a hot minute to kill them. And one thing about this game that I do appreciate is the sheer amount of AI and enemies that could be on the screen at one time.
Yeah, it
Because
runs pretty smoothly.
it runs incredibly smoothly. Like there will be hundreds of monsters, and you have like almost 100 allies, and the game just doesn't slow down.
That's really nice.
And you got all this special effects. You got dynamic environments being destroyed and all that. Oh, Wing Diver can also call in vehicles as well.
Okay.
So, and how you call in certain things is get a certain amount of kills. The higher ranking enemy gives you more points. The more points you get, the faster you can get your vehicle. Let's see, the other character I didn't mention is Fencer. He's basically wearing an
Oh, you completely killing
exoskeleton
the
suit.
buildings. Holy shit.
Yeah, there's structured environments, and this, like I said, this game runs fantastically.
Yes, most the
Uh,
oh. Where's your arachnophobia here?
Oh yes. There was a part of me that went, man, I hate this, but at the same time, I'm killing them with comically sized weapons. I feel good.
Holy shit, that the spider is huge.
So, when you think, oh, they can't make it any bigger, guess what? They made it bigger.
Kind of reminds me, I've
Like I
been
said,
playing a
just-
little bit Satisfactory recently, so.
Oh
Oof.
yeah. I remember the one time, what was it? I think was it you and me where I decided to go to a cave and I came screaming out.
No, I mean, that sounds like you, yeah.
Alright, fair enough.
But
these
yeah,
spiders.
listen, the Satisfactory spiders are incredibly dissatisfactory. Where you just like the moment you hear them crawl, you're like, nope.
Their sound just makes my skin just go, nope. Alt F4, baby.
But yeah, this is the really cool game. I assume this is like also like one of these co-op games.
Yeah, this can be co-opted up to 4 people, I think.
Ooh, so everyone can play their own,
Everyone has
Yours
their own
is
role.
like-
Or if you
yeah.
just want to do the stupid and have 4 air raiders and just nuke the entire map off the face of the planet. They also have a very unique upgrade system, so you'll be seeing these colored boxes I've been picking up.
Yeah.
Armor, weapons. So basically, I think it's every few boxes of armor you pick up, you increase your hit points after the mission. It'll be effective. The
Okay.
green boxes give
What?
you an RNG chance of getting a new weapon. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's also some comically sized tanks. You think, oh, comically sized enemies. How about comically sized tanks? That just fire a laser. Welcome to the EDF. If it's big, we make it bigger.
So how old is this game?
This specific game, I believe, came in 2019. There was one that just released last year or the year before. I can't remember.
Oh,
Like
these
it's
are
an
the frogs.
ongoing series.
Something like frog-like. They definitely look like frogs.
Yeah, these are the frogs. In this mission, I'm actually playing with. I don't know if you remember Ace.
No. Oh, days.
Ace Star
Yeah,
Citizen.
yeah. Yes, of
Yeah.
course. I thought you were like a character in the game called Ace.
No, he also has this game, and we were just going around. He's playing Fencer at the moment, so he has like Gatling guns out the ass and rockets.
Dang. Good timing.
Wasn't even tried that.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, this mission was basically a bit of a chaos store where he was just popping off missiles everywhere. As you can see, there's a lot of buildings. There will not be a lot of buildings at one point.
You mean
Because I keep calling in shit as well.
he got rid of all the distractions?
Listen, they try. The AI are actually pretty smart. It's like sometimes they'll actively try to take cover. They'll try to roll out of the way, hide behind buildings.
That frog
They'll
didn't
try to
enjoy
flank you
that.
and all that.
Yeah, looks good.
It's a fun game. It's I saw it for sale on Steam, and I'm like, you know what? It's recommended to me. Why not? It's actually really highly rated.
So this is like your Japanese week today, this week with the two Japanese games. Or this is Japanese, right?
Yeah, this is a very Japanese game.
Yeah.
The voice acting, the English voice acting definitely tells it's a Japanese game because their the voice actors are fine. Their writing, on the other hand, a little less. I need to play this with the Japanese voices because I think it would sound a lot better. Oh yeah, that also happens. You could accidentally stick your ally with
Oh boy.
with these little dart things. Basically, Air Raider has a couple ways of doing stuff. He could either laser down someone, or he fires his little dart gun, and then it'll
The fuck
orbital laser cannon
happening
or something
here?
like that. Oh yeah, the ambulance. Health is sometimes hard to come by in this game because in order to get health, and you need to kill enemies. Some enemies just don't die, so you just don't get health. So you get the ambulance.
You can just chill.
You're just chilling there. The ambulance does have hit points though, so you cannot just stay in there indefinitely.
What a cool little game.
It is a really fun game. I'd recommend anyone who has, I think it's like $10 or something. If you just want kind of a chill clusterfuck, I don't know, good terminology for it.
Yeah.
Grab it. Either grab this or 4.1, the slightly older edition.
Mhm.
This one is just kind of more of an improvement to 4.1. Because a lot of the a few of the weapons that were DLC in 4.1 are standard weapons in 5.
What just happened?
What did you do? You broke it.
I definitely did.
But yeah, I guess you're going back to what you said. Yeah, kind of my Japanese week. Honestly, I didn't realize I was playing a lot of Japanese style games or Japanese developed games.
I mean, to be fair, I also had a Japanese game in there, so.
Wicked Japan.
So this is somewhat old news. I did want to mention it because at the start of my channel, I was super hyped about this game. This is about New World. I don't know if you heard about it. But a little bit of a tragic story. I guess I'm full of tragic stories today. But anyway, I think the implications of it are a little bit larger than people make them out to be. But either way, so essentially what happened is last year there was some big layoffs. And in between the big layoffs, there was like a massive Amazon layoff. Initially, like people didn't really think too much about it until they were like, who actually got laid off? So apparently, the full development team of New World got like booted from one day to the other. Yay, Amazon! Yeah, it was like a really dick move. It came after like one of the, not even one of the most successful DLC. It's not even DLC. It's just like part of the main game because like New World didn't really think you needed to buy something new.
Yeah, I think of it like I said with WoW's title update.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a massive, massive update. Actually, it wasn't that massive, but like it was like a really high quality update. And maybe that's a good way to describe it. And like a month or two later, they had to announce that New World is not gonna get any updates anymore, and it will close down after the year 2026. So out of courtesy, they want to keep the service open. I mean, kind of courtesy, right? But like whatever, they wanted to keep the service open for 2026, and after that, they will permanently close. And the video I picked for this is more of a. It's not even my montage, so it's this guy's montage of a lot of content creators. Luckily, with the names under it, so I don't have to individually credit them. But like some highlight moments from New World, and I even got like my own little video of New World. But I just wanted to get. This is not. Okay. This is the full video. I edited this down and I was like, okay, great. But anyway, New World, honestly, in my opinion, it was an amazing game. I say it was because it already feels like it's gone. Because I feel like most people already like fled. I don't know if you heard about this news.
Yeah, I heard about the news and all that, and I went, I'm not surprised. Y'all trusted Amazon making a game.
Yeah. Like the worst part about that is that it's this was the example of the Lumberyard engine. This should have been the showcase, and it was actually the showcase of the Lumberyard engine. And famously, there's only one other game in development that uses the Lumberyard engine. And this is kind of where this ties well into like the main plot line here, because that's Star Citizen.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really shitty that the only other example of the Lumberyard engine being kind of successful is failing or failed.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, I didn't want to like go on too much about like Amazon closing it down. Maybe you can finally say you're right. We shouldn't have trusted Amazon. But
everyone tried to get me onto this game, and I just went, no.
Fuck Bezos.
It wasn't even for Bezos. It's just that here's the thing. At the time, Amazon was shutting down Luna for a time, which was a cloud-based thing to go up against like Amazon and not Amazon, Microsoft's Xbox Cloud and GeForce Now. And Amazon put so much effort and time into it. They put a lot of money, time, and effort, made their own custom control and everything. And within 6 months, they shut down. And then this was out or was about to come out. And I'm like, yeah, I'm paying as well. This isn't a free MMO. Hell no.
Yeah.
If it was free, I'd probably play it, but it wasn't. You had to pay what, $40?
Something like that. It wasn't like too expensive.
It wasn't too expensive, but at the same time, for a game that kind of reminds me if I just wanted to play something like this, I would dust off RuneScape.
I mean, yeah, no, but like, and this is why I feel like this is such a shame, Because if we look at the games that are out there, sure, he's showcasing some bugs. It's like kind of funny,
To
but
be
like,
honest, I have nothing against. If this game continued like it was and it wasn't made by Amazon, I would be playing it. But I don't put
yeah,
any faith in Amazon anymore.
I mean, like you're completely right. But like that's why I really want to like double down on this game. This was like um, one of the best, or maybe the best action combat we have seen in an MMO.
Oh yeah, they did that. They did everything right.
They did so much right. The open world was incredibly satisfying to just walk around. And just like knowing you could just get attacked from anywhere. The environment looked amazing, and that's also like, that was also like the part of Lumberyard that I was really excited about. To see this in a complete new engine, because we all have seen like a ton of games being developed on the same engine, and at some point you start realizing where the limit is. Even for as a non-developer, you kind of realize you start a certain game and you know where the limits are, just simply because everyone has already like developed on like an engine like that, right? And
Yeah.
this just felt so much different. Yeah, in the end I played it quite a bit. It was such a great game. I enjoyed it so much. I really only quit because at some point the whole guild I was playing with, they decided that what was it called? Another game was more exciting, and New World at that point didn't have a lot of content and not a lot of updates on the horizon. So everyone was like, "Okay, I'm out."
Jump ship.
Yeah, well, it wasn't necessarily jump ship, but they were all like, let's get back to it once it gets more exciting. And it was like fairly quiet for the first couple of years, but then they started pumping out expansions, and there was like a couple of regions got added, a couple of new mechanics. They added like the great sword. They added like the blunderbuss. And in the latest expansion, they actually, so that was the coolest part about it. I'm not blaming the developers personally. I'm blaming like Amazon here, because it was their shit.
Yeah.
It was their decision to shut it down. Like all the developers here were like quite passionate about like developing this game. And even to a certain extent, also this one was also in development, The Lord of the Rings. Also completely shut down. Like the whole Amazon game studio is just like gone.
Gone. Yeah.
And that's just, in my book, it's fucked up.
Wish they could make a correct decision, but I guess they just can't.
Yeah, and this is what they want to invest into. Some weird ass AI Snoop Dogg judge kind of thing. Maybe it's good that I showed like more of this video.
Yeah.
Because like it does show quite a bit. But yeah, the developers, after the announcement that they were going to shut down New World, they did release Daggers, which was like one of the assassin style classes that they were planning to add, but they felt like, well, we did all this work and it's going to be for nothing. We might as well really push it to the public. Yeah, and that's just like adds to the. I don't know. I'm not like mad or anything. I'm just like annoyed, disappointed. I'm the disappointed dad. Courtroom Chaos, Snoop Dogg edition. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. And it was just like such a PvP focused game, but with great PvE elements into it. You know, the whole combat style was catered towards PvP. You just felt it in everything, you know, and all, you know, the abilities and the way the characters moved and the physics system and everything like that. And it had some great like dungeons and events and everything, but you know, the meat of the game was in PvP, whether it was like arenas or bigger raids or like full on guild wars or you know, yeah. Yeah, and I think
One for the history books.
one for the history books. It's also like way before its time, and that's what I like was a little bit annoyed about. Like if you compare it to games out there right now, we have like Final Fantasy 14, we have World of Warcraft, and we have Elder Scrolls Online, which are the big players. Am I forgetting one? I mean, maybe RuneScape.
Yeah, I guess you would count RuneScape in that as well. It's more of a legacy thing than anything else now.
Yeah, and this was the new kid on the block. There was also like Black Desert Online, which also had like a action combat system, but it was just, you know, uncomparable. Because like Black Desert was like grind and PvE focused, while this was really PvP was like the meat of the game and the resource gathering and everything. Yeah, I had like a ton of fun at this game, and I really am sad to see it go. Because, in fact, and this is no joke, I saw so many good messages about the new update of New World, so I was like, okay, fine, then I'm gonna install it. I installed it, you know, downloaded it for forever and installed it, and I was like, all right, let's don't have some time today, but let's boot it up in the weekend. And within that couple of days, they announced that, you know, gone. So yeah.
Well, say goodbye to it.
But yeah, like the real reason, and I might as well just keep it going. I'm bringing this up is this doesn't only impact New World because there's also like another developer that's using this engine and the expertise on this engine, and it's going down by a lot. I don't know exactly in what way the effects will be felt in Star Citizen.
I don't think too much because Star Citizen is going incredibly strong. As someone's been playing recently, they have been we just got engineering finally.
Oh. I guess next week we have a new topic then.
Yeah, next week or next time, wherever this next one happens, I have to write down because I still remember what happened within the first 2 weeks of engineering.
Mm-hmm.
It was a story that,
ironically.
Oh, things were breaking alright, but not for the way you were expecting. The story I had to somehow condense 2 hours down to like maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think we can make a new Star Citizen topic video or podcast next week, where we like catch up on all the developments. Well, I say next week, next time I should say. Indeed, like I'll ask you immediately for next week, but if that's not possible, like so many times before, we'll have to plan it like a different date, right?
Yeah, things happen. We'll try.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, it's like we try to plan for the next week, and if we can't, just keep going until we actually can sit down and do it.
Exactly.
That's how these work.
No, for real. Yeah. A little bitter ending here, but yeah, I'm still hyped for Star Citizen. I heard that they are actually having the plan to release Squadron 42 this year.
Yeah, I saw that announcement as well, and I went, "Oh, let's see if this actually happens."
Yeah,
Because
I'm
I
also
will buy
like
it and
still
play it.
quiet about it. You don't already have it?
No, I never actually bought the original pledge for Squadron 42,
Ah,
so I will still have to pay full price. But honestly, from what I've seen from Squadron 42 and what the development of Star Citizen is right now, I wouldn't mind paying it.
sorry, I'm laughing because like she's complaining that she's having to work and he's playing game. But yeah, um, yeah. I did get the initial pledge for Squadron 42. Well, I just bought like one of the packages. I didn't know
Yeah,
what
it
the
was
fuck
like
I
a
was
bundle
buying.
deal or something.
Yeah, and yeah. Um, yeah, this has been on my mind for quite a while. I did just not just uninstall New World immediately. I just went back into the game, played for a couple of weeks. Just also because I wouldn't know when the last time was that I could actually play it. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And I feel like the most annoying thing about this is that New World didn't really die because it was a bad game. It died because I'm not even too sure about it, because Amazon didn't see any future in it or something like that. That's the main reason that this game died, and that's
Yeah.
just sad to see.
Like I said, all it takes is a couple of executives to make a stupid decision and it ruins it for everyone.
Yeah, for real. It's really. I'm trying to look for the video I had of New World. Can't find it immediately. It was like one of the first videos I made. Was just like a random, part, like fragment of New World.
Yeah.
What's up, Dunks? What's going on here? You're jumping right into the ending of our second podcast. You were there on the first podcast, so thank you for that. Yeah, let's see. I was almost hoping I could find it somewhere here. Anyway, without like dragging it on too long, Jack, I want to say thank you very much, and I'll give you the last words.
Thanks for having me as usual. This is always great to just talk about our interests or what we've been doing or lack of. Getting Switch 2 stolen.
Oh boy,
For
that
me,
was so
just going
horrible.
on
Were you going on their Japanese week?
Yeah, me going on that Japanese. Actually, to be honest, the more I think about it, it's
Couple
been
weeks.
like a Japanese month. Honestly, I've been playing a lot of like Bandai Namco, Capcom, and Sega stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
When I was in
it just
Korea,
made me realize that.
yeah, when I was in Korea over the holidays, I saw a couple of these. They have like some of these pop-up stores, or like in the gaming areas. There's like these Capcom sections and that kind of stuff. And I'm always like, yeah, I should tell Jack about this.
I see them a lot of times on social media. I'm like, man, why do I have to live in the States where we don't get any cool shit like that?
But yeah, thank you for watching. Watch out for, well, let's just say next week. So there's a little bit of commitment already there. But other than that, perhaps like let's say until next time.
Yeah, until next time.
See you guys around.